Hello and welcome to the Mighty Media News Update. I'm Robert Ashley. We thank you for being with us. Be sure to check us out on our social media platforms on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, The Robert Ashley Show, The Robert Ashley Channel, also Mighty Media TV. On our top story, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is calling the storms in North Texas one of the worst on record. The governor says the rain totals in Dallas are pretty much were the second highest recorded in history. Governor Abbott promises that Texas will provide all cities the support they need while also signing a disaster declaration. Around 100 homes were damaged by the rainfall and floods in North Texas, and a 60-year-old woman literally drowned. And the governor also says that he's hoping for federal government assistance as we deal with the aftermath of the most severe flooding within possibly 100 years. Now, the governor told reporters that he had talked with the FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency Administrator Deanne Criswell, who is worried about the impact that the flooding will have on low-income homeowners. Well, the head of a Dallas area school district, Keller ISD, is responding to criticism surrounding the pulling of some books from its library, including the Bible. The Keller school superintendent, Rick Westfall, said they're not banning books. In a statement, Rick Westfall said the titles are being held in a parental consent area until the review process is complete. He also expects both the Bible and the graphic novel version of Anne Frank's diary to be returned to the shelves. Their removal drew an angry response on social media. Well, the State Department is weighing in on reports that former NBA player Dennis Rodman, a Southwood graduate, is heading to Russia to help negotiate the release of Phoenix Mercury star Brittany Griner. State Department spokesman Ned Price said that the Biden administration already has put forward a substantial proposal to Russia to gain the freedom of Brittany Griner and the former U.S. Marine Paul Wheeling. He says any outside attempts to secure the release could hinder what they already have in place. Well, a former Louisville Metro Police detective is pleading guilty to lying on the search warrant for Breonna Taylor's apartment. Kelly Goodlet's lawyer said she will plead guilty to a single count of conspiring to violate Breonna Taylor's civil rights for helping to falsify an affidavit that led to the search warrant and the deadly shooting in the first place. Now, the federal court filing document says that Kelly Goodlet, this former detective with the Louisville Police Department, falsely claimed a postal inspector had verified that Breonna Taylor was receiving packages at her apartment for her ex-boyfriend, who was a convicted drug dealer. They made it all up. The 26-year-old Breonna Taylor, a black emergency room technician, was eventually shot to death when Louisville police officers carried out a no-knock raid on her apartment in March 2020. And a group that's outspoken about police shooting deaths of black men in Akron, Ohio, will be holding a week of action. The Freedom Bloc says this week's activities will bring awareness to their demands of justice for Jayland Walker, who was shot 46 times after 8 police officers fired over 90 rounds at him. Now, the organization said that the activities will include political education, demonstrations, and leadership development. Now, police said that Jayland Walker was killed on June 27th after they claimed he fired a gun from his car during an attempted traffic stop. But the family of Jayland Walker don't believe what police are saying. They believe police are lying and that the shooting was not justified. Well, civil rights leaders in Maryland are launching what's being described as a first-of-its-kind alert system for racial incidents. The Emmett Till Alert will notify clergy members, black leaders, and elected officials when there is a racial incident or a hate crime in Maryland. The alert is named after Emmett Till, a black Mississippi teenager whose lynching in 1955 in Money, Mississippi led to the civil rights movement. The alert system is modeled after the Amber Alert for missing children. And finally, word from the White House on student loan debt forgiveness. The reports are indicating that the payment pause will likely be extended for several months by President Biden. Now, President Biden is said to be working on forgiveness loans of up to $10,000 for those who make under $125,000 a year. Well, you've been listening to the Mighty Media News Update. I'm Robert Ashley. Be sure to join us on our social media platforms on YouTube, Fire TV, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. The Robert Ashley Channel, The Robert Ashley Show, Mighty Media TV. For the Mighty Media News Update, I'm Robert Ashley.